and we look forward to 6 hours of unprecedented coverage each and every Friday night from 6 to midnight. Among those, we'll be talking about and covering the Fisher Gators, who get it going this year with a name that's very familiar in the lore of Fisher High School, a former star of the Gators, taking over the program and ready to restore the roar, so to speak, or the bite, as it were, for the Gators. It's a pleasure to welcome Coach Tevyn Cagins of Fisher High School to the show. Tevyn, how are you?
I'm doing well, Coach. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Great to have you. So, all right, so you take the challenge of going home to the alma mater. I guess the alma mater is first and foremost, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You always come back home. Home's always there for you.
Talk about your own experience about when you played back at Fisher before going to UL Monroe.
Oh, it's, back in the day. I'm sorry, I got a call passing them outside.
That's okay.
Back in the day, it was great. I mean, small community. Everybody had a back. It was packed out. Friday Night Lights. Lafitte's one way in, one way out. So everybody used to come to the games. It seems like we kind of lost that, so we're trying to get that back.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you next is, what's it going to take to get people interested again? I mean, the obvious is winning, of course, and that's not been the case most recently. It's been hard for Fisher the last couple of years.
Right. Yeah, just at least give them a couple wins. Of course, the people want it's more than just wins or losses. But like we always say back in the day when I played, was as long as they came down there and knew it was kind of a fight. It wasn't just they coming down there for an easy victory. It was always they had to work for it at least.
And of course, you've been at a program most recently at Patrick Taylor, which is just is a very young athletic program. So that's a building effort too there. So there's some level of familiarity with what you're walking into at Fisher. Talk about the comparison.
Oh, just the age is it's about the same. We got a lot of young guys here at Fisher, and the same at Patrick Taylor. Pat Taylor's gonna be eighth and freshman team this year, so we got a lot of young guys. We got to think about only 6, 17 years this year, but we're real young and the future's bright. I think last year the team finished with 22. We got about 48 on our roster now.
Well, I was going to ask you that. That's a pretty good number to work with, so that's a good start to have that many. We're visiting with Tevyn Cagins of the Fisher Gators, and Coach, obviously it's been a very strange year. Just talk about how strange it's been and how difficult it's been just to get to this point to where these kids can finally have a chance to play.
Oh, man. On top of all the corona restrictions and the guidelines off the summer, you can only have about 25 kids per grouping, and then you can't mix the groups. And now we come in phase 3, and they allow us to have contact. But, then Mother Nature comes in for us, and we had 3 storms come in, so that set us back a week because we flood down here. And then we had another week off because it was flooding the road. So we're kind of like two weeks behind everybody else. So we're trying to play catch-up at the moment.
Of course, you get the season started this Friday at home against St. Martin's Episcopal. Just talk about the opportunity, first of all, and then secondly about the opponent.
Oh, we're happy about the opportunity. It's kind of rekindling an old rivalry. We used to play these guys in district and regular games, scrimmages, jamborees, but now we get actual week 1 open against them. I think that the coach Janduza used back at Newman back in the day with Peyton Manning and Eli Manning. So I know they're gonna be ready, and it's gonna be a good test for the direction of the program.
Yep, I know Frank very well. He does an excellent job, and certainly is a guy that commands a lot of respect. And then, of course, with regard to your district, just talk a little bit about how you see the league this year. And I mean, there's some schools in there that without being critical, you at least in due time should be able to compete with.
Absolutely. I mean, back when I played, whenever of course they were just coming off the ground, but we got Thomas Jefferson on our schedule, Haynes, Ben Franklin, Ken Discovery. They're up and coming. They're looking pretty great. But it's all teams that should be competitive. It should be competitive games. It shouldn't be just a washout.
Yep, Tevyn Cagins with us from Fisher. And Kevin, talk a little bit about a few of the players that you feel are players that we all should be looking out for and paying attention to this year.
On offense, we'll be led by quarterback Matthew Capel. He'll be a senior this year, and we'll have running backs Delvin Williams Jr. and receiver Elijah Lewis. He's actually a sophomore. And on the defensive side, we'll have our D tackle, Terrell Williams, middle linebacker, Austin Phillips, and safety, Trey Usay. Trey Usay actually has an offer for baseball to UNO. Finally, he's one of the athletes that hasn't been playing with us, and we're glad to have him out here with football.
Well, it's great to have a multi-sport athlete that's capable of doing a lot of things, and then of course you just talk about, for those that aren't familiar with Lafitte, the nature. It's a unique community. It's a closely bonded community. A lot of people from the city area haven't been that way unless they're water aficionados and outdoor aficionados. Just talk a little bit about, for people that don't really pay attention, what it's like to be in a community like Lafitte.
Oh, well, like I said before, we're one way in, one way out. Small fish community. A lot of our kids, we battle with that. During the summer, they got to work. They go to work with dad and mom, and they got to go on the boat or pull the tugs or anything. It's a battle we do, but at the same time, as a coach, got to kind of understand, like, some kids have to work. They don't have that luxury of I could just take a day off, or like, because they got to help the family some need. But we're very close knit. Everybody knows everybody. The joke is everybody's related in Lafitte. We're really not all related, but if a strange car comes down the street, they'll post on Facebook, "Who's this car coming down?" Like, it's that close of a community.
That's pretty neat, to say the least. But I get it completely, because I think that's a very accurate depiction of what you're dealing with. But again, there's tremendous pride when something is accomplished and something good happens, and I know that the community is looking forward to something good happening there. Final thought or two. What do you plan on running? What do you run offensively? What do you do defensively, Coach?
Defensively, we're base 4-3. Offensively, we're trying to get into a gun triple option, kind of like with Georgia Southern and New Mexico State running back in the day. But other than that, we're just kind of getting to a ground and pound. Back to a ground and pound mentality like we used to do in the past. We had a lot of success in our program with.
Yep. Of course, it all starts on Friday night with St. Martin's coming to Lafitte to take on the Fisher Gators, and I know that you're looking forward to the challenge at your alma mater and really restoring a program that has had some success in the past, and you know a little bit about that. So, Tevyn Cagins, listen, I want to not only thank you for joining us, but wish you nothing but success this year, and certainly we'll be in touch, and make sure you send me that contact when you can, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, Tevyn. Thank you. It's Tevyn Cagins. You got it. The Fisher Gators.